welcome back to Imagination. I'm Nicholas Pettis.
And I'm Chiaki Horan. So today we're going to talk about something little traditional.
Well, you just jumped right into that.
Yes, because it's going to be kind of complicated for those of you don't know about it. So I just wanted to jump in. Okay, so today's feature is anime called Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Season 2.
Wow. Okay. You lost me at Showa.
So it's basically about rakugo. Rakugo
Yes.
is Japanese traditional comic storytelling.
Okay.
A lone performer called rakugoka kneels on a cushion, zabuton, on stage called koza, right? And they use only a fan and a hand towel as a props.
Yep.
So it's like a really minimalistic theater kind of thing.
You know why I can relate to this and know about this a little bit? Because I did kyogen.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's also a traditional Japanese performance kind of thing.
And it's also only, like, it's a wooden stage with a painted tree in the back, and that's it.
That's it. It's really minimal.
It's as minimal as possible, and it's really hard.
It's really hard, but you need a lot of imagination to, you know, imagine what's going on and what this story is going on kind of thing.
Japanese traditional humor it's an acquired taste.
But there's one thing. Now recently, this rakugo culture is like, there's little bits and pieces of buzzing all around the world. And there's even a Canadian rakugoka in Japan now, who's called Katsura Sunshine.
I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, he translates Japanese rakugo into English rakugo, and he does performances all over the world.
Wow.
And it's actually funny. You can get the Japanese humor.
Well, it should be funny.
It's funny. Okay, so this rakugo is now became an anime.
Nice.
That's gonna be super amazing, right?
I really want to check it out, actually.
Okay, let's get started.
This time we'll feature the second season of the TV anime Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, currently airing in Japan since the beginning of the month.
昭和元禄落語心中助六再び編
The subject of this work is a traditional Japanese performing art called rakugo, which is a form of verbal entertainment in which a lone storyteller portrays multiple characters to tell a comical or sentimental story.
詳しく聞かせるお兄さんここへ来て私の代わりに「音羽屋!」って声かけてくださる女がツツンと合図してきたからこっちからもうとっときのでけえ声で「音羽屋音羽屋音羽屋音羽屋音羽屋
The story centers around a former hoodlum named Yotaro. He becomes a trainee under Yakumo, a master rakugo performer, and gradually discovers his own style of rakugo.
お前さん何のために落語をやるんだい
へそれも落語のためです
Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju is based on a manga serialized in a manga magazine since 2010. Readers were drawn to the diverse range of human drama, including the bond between master and trainee, rivalry, and romance, all closely intertwined with the theme of rakugo. The work received a number of prizes, including an Excellence Award for Manga at the Japan Media Arts Festival presented by the Agency for Cultural Affairs. The impact of the work extends to rakugo in the real world. In Japan, there are multiple venues called Yose, where rakugo can be enjoyed. Not only have they become a popular destination for overseas tourists, but now more young people can be seen among the predominantly elderly rakugo fans.
お前はいい子だな僕病気かわいそうにもうどこを患った高血圧嘘つけ
This is my first visit to Yose. I became interested in rakugo because I was drawn to the depiction of rakugo in the manga work.
Rakugo performer Shinpei Hayashiya acts as an advisor for the rakugo elements of the anime version. He describes how he felt the impact of the work firsthand.
I've noticed a lot of visitors who we've not seen in the past. In the matinees, there's been an increase in the number of young people. People who appear to be complete novices, not familiar at all with Rakugo, sit in the front row with their mouths wide open. The increase in the presence of people in their 20s is palpable.
In January 2016, the first season of the anime premiered. The series portrays Yotaro as he dedicates himself to his Rakugo training, overcoming obstacles to perfect his art. Viewers were further captivated by the revelation of the shocking past of his master, Yakumo, which ingrained in him the grim notion of committing a love suicide with Rakugo. The first season was localized for overseas markets in various forms, such as with the subtitles and voiceovers, gaining a following in Europe, North America, and Asia. Such fans from around the world await the second season with great anticipation.
We've received an outpouring of joyous messages in various languages like, "Hooray, it's really happening," or "I'm looking forward to it." Even if they don't really grasp the fundamentals of Rakugo or understand what's being said or the story being recounted, I think the interspersed narrative involving the characters and the general flow of the story still gets across to them. So, in a positive sense, I imagine the overseas visitors are not too concerned about the details.
Coming up, we'll delve further into the latest series of the anime Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. We'll catch a glimpse of the dubbing studio where a popular voice actor gives a vivid performance and go behind the scenes to find out how the production team reproduced the distinct mannerisms of Rakugo performers down to the last detail.
Well, they really got to use their imagination to like engage the people watching and stuff. And I think the punchline that you spoke about before, the punchline is more important about how the timing and the flow of the talk is done. It looks good.
So, the story takes place in Rakugo world, you already know. There's a master and a pupil, right?
Let me be the master.
You were once a pupil, right?
Well, I was a student, yes. Student and a master. That's why I came to Japan originally.
Yeah.
To do exactly that, but in the karate version of it.
Basically, Rakugo world is the same. This anime is about the apprenticeship.
Like apprenticeships in Japan are they exist in many worlds. Everything from sushi chefs to karate to sumo.
What?
These apprenticeships are absolutely no joke.
Yes. So depending on the master, and they sometimes have to like clean the master's house
Every day.
do the laundry,
Every day. By hand.
cooking, preparing,
Every
like
day.
folding kimonos and like
Every day.
all the chores.
Oh yeah. Every day.
Depending on the master, right?
Yeah.
So it's really tough, right? Becoming a student.
The first year student is the worst. It's like the worst ever. Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it. Okay, so talking about the character.
Yeah.
Ta-da! So this is Yotaro. He listened to Yakumo's Rakugo and he kind of got like hooked into it.
Right.
So he joined the Rakugo world and he thinks bright future awaits Rakugo in Rakugo world kind of thing. And about the master.
The master.
Yakumo. He's one of the storyteller masters, and he's especially treasures koten rakugo, which means old rakugo. Like Kyogen, you said, it's like ancient rakugo, right?
Stuff,
And so in the first season was about Yotaro apprenticing to Yakumo and tried to become a professional storyteller, right? But in the second season, he became already a professional storyteller, and the story goes on from there. So, do you actually want to see Rakugo with subtitles on it? Really? Are you sure? Okay, let's check it out.
The second season is set between the 1980s and the 1990s. There are 3 ranks of Rakugo performers based on their ability. The season begins with Yotaro being promoted to the highest rank of headliner. The crowd fills the streets to celebrate Yotaro's promotion, but Yotaro struggles inwardly with a sense of impatience. Having single-mindedly followed in the footsteps of his master to reach the rank of headliner, Yotaro has yet to develop a style of Rakugo he could consider his forte. In response to Yotaro's promotion, his master, Yakumo, performs a story called Tsuru Tsuru in front of him. The story depicts a man named Ippachi, who's been courting a geisha he fell in love with, catering to her every whim to convince her to marry him. He finally obtains her consent, but on the day he promises to meet her, he encounters trouble. Yakumo was trying to warn Yotaro not to become complacent now that he's become a headliner, and that the path to success in Rakugo is still long and steep. Having witnessed his master's art, Yotaro continues his search for his own Rakugo style with renewed vigor. One day, a writer named Higuchi, who's been a supporter of Yotaro, makes a certain proposition to him.
In Rakugo, which has been performed for over 300 years, there are two categories of work. One is what are called the classics, and the other is work created since the 1920s, which are called new works. Concerned about the future of the declining art of Rakugo, Higuchi feels the need for it to take up new challenges. Intrigued by this proposal, Yotaro tells Master Yakumo, who focuses exclusively on performing classical Rakugo, that he wants to work on new works.
師匠は新作落語ってのはどう思ってますか？
なんだよその面、やりてえってのかい？
いや、実はちょっと。
言っとくけど、あたしはやっぱり落語なんかは汚れる前にきれいさっぱりなくなった方がいいと思ってるよ。落語と心中、それがあたしの定めさ。
そうはさせません。
Does he stick to classical Rakugo, or does he give new Rakugo a try? The second season focuses on Yotaro's discovery of the type of Rakugo he wants to pursue. Rakugo is closely intertwined with the narrative of this work. Therefore, the performance of the voice actors so closely resembles that of real Rakugo performers that it's become a major talking point. The voice of the protagonist, Yotaro, is played by voice actor Tomokazu Seki. He's voiced a number of hit anime, including the Mobile Suit Gundam series and Doraemon. Yotaro's master, Yakumo, is played by Akira Ishida, who's voiced the lead characters in a number of popular anime, including Naruto and Gintama. In addition, Megumi Hayashibara, known as the voice of Rei Ayanami in Evangelion, plays Miyokichi, a character who figures prominently in Master Yakumo's past. They're supported by a strong cast of other experienced voice actors. On this day, Seki, who plays the protagonist, Yotaro, made an appearance at a public talk about the anime. In front of the gathered fans of the work, he discussed some of the struggles he went through during the dubbing process.
I didn't know a thing about Rakugo, so there was no way I could have caught up without having someone teach me all the ins and outs.
Normally, it takes over 10 years to become a fully-fledged Rakugo performer known as a headliner. While preparing to play such a character in the anime, Seki became keenly aware of the profundity of the art form.
We voice actors normally play just one part of a larger piece. But in Rakugo, a single performer tells the whole story alone, meaning that they approach it from a wider perspective. My understanding is that the art form requires the performer to keep in mind how the performance as a whole is received. I think the performer needs to have the ability to put the story together, rather than concentrating on neatly delineating each role. Yeah.
This is the anime's dubbing studio. Here, Seki, as Yotaro, recounts a story called Inokori Saheiji. The story is about a penniless man named Saheiji who lives in a rundown tenement. Despite being broke, he enjoys himself in the red light district and uses his silver tongue to avoid paying the bill. In the original comic, this Rakugo story is used in an important scene.
ありがとう存じます。良い感情にメールやした。おお、明石さん、いいところ来なすった。だまも頭がぼやっとして、お迎えってのを生きてんだ。それってお直しになりますんで。それから風呂沸いてるかい。一っ風呂浴びてね、仕切り直しだ。早場に頼むよ。
Saheiji stays for many days and gives off a cheery disposition to give the impression of being well off. When he can no longer sustain the deception, Saheiji lies that he's actually a deadly villain who's going to get arrested as soon as he steps outside. He tries to induce the innkeeper to ask him to leave without having to pay the bill. The highlight of this story is the abrupt change in Saheiji's demeanor when he puts on his villain persona.
しかし、あっしゃここ出られねえわけがあるんです。店にいるうちはこうして無事にいられますが、うっかり外へ出りゃ御用を取った十手風、なめにかかっちまう体ですわ。人殺しこそいたしませんが、与党かっさきやじりきり、親父は神田の白壁町でそれなりの暮らしもしてメールやしたが、生まれついての悪性でガキの頃から手癖が悪く、抜けめいりからぐれ出して旅を稼ぎに西国を回って守備も吉野山、ご内といや寺方や豪華に入り込み盗んだる金が御嶽の財貨は毛抜けの塔の20、30。とにかく早くどっか行ってくれ。高飛びでもしとくれよ。 高飛びしても山々ですが、先立つ浪銀が。わかったわかった。ここに10両あるから、これ持ってどっか行きな。へい、どうもありがとう存じます。早く行ってくれ、早く。はあ、疲れた。大変だよ。
It seemed Seki had the distinctive rhythmic inflection of Rakugo down to the T. But Shinpei Hayashiya, the Rakugo performer advising him, is not convinced with Seki's performance as the innkeeper confronting Saheiji.
The innkeeper's part should be spoken a bit more calmly, and keep it fairly calm until the very end when he says, "Hurry up and go," which should have a note of urgency. When he hears about his crimes, the innkeeper goes, "There's no way you're staying here. Hurry up and get out of here," with a bit of urgency. Just that part. Got it.
Being well-versed in the subtleties of the emotions of Rakugo characters, Hayashiya is able to advise the voice actors and infuse the Rakugo scenes with more authenticity.
In standard Rakugo, performers recount stories inherited from their masters at a pace that suits them. However, in this case, the voiceovers must be synchronized to the animation. Because the master says that Rakugo cannot be told in fragments, the whole story must be retold from the start when a mistake happens. Since even a small mistake means starting all over, we see that Seki approaches the role with intense commitment.
Seki rehearses the Rakugo scene right up until the take begins. It's his wish to preserve both the sense of pacing found in Rakugo and the sense of pacing found in the anime.
Rakugo uses a distinct inflection of the voice, and although there's no explicit way to do it, there seems to be a certain way of speaking that sounds Rakugo-like. I'm trying to emulate that as best as I can. Since Rakugo performers learn their art through watching and studying others, it seems to be an art that can only be pursued by self-motivated individuals with an inquiring mind.
Commitment to the scenes depicting Rakugo is not just limited to the performance of the voice actors.
In this scene, he removes this sash band and takes off his overgarment. The difficult point here are the folds in the kimono. We've been asked not to draw too many folds for it. If you pursue realism, you need to draw many folds. But because this is anime, we try to keep the number of folds to a minimum, thereby achieving a clean line.
Rakugo always begins with an introductory section called makura before getting into the main story. Many Rakugo performers remove their overgarments when transitioning from the introductory section to the main story. This practice is faithfully reproduced in the anime too.
何商売でも優しいという商売はございませんで、とりわけ難しいのが奉還、つまり太鼓持ちでございますな。
The way Rakugo performers sit is also rendered faithfully. They cross their legs to avoid fatigue that could come from sitting on their legs for an extended period of time. The anime depicts this sitting posture that's characteristic of Rakugo performers.
Another point is the collar. If you draw without paying much attention, you tend to draw the collar protruding like this, which gives a scruffy impression. Rakugo performers wear their kimono properly, which means their collar doesn't stick out at the back very much. This is something we've been asked to be careful about since Rakugo performers always wear their kimono properly.
The production team studied videos of Rakugo performers and other materials over and over again, so that the anime characters resemble real-life Rakugo performers as closely as possible. Furthermore, adjustments were made to the colors of the overall animation using various ingenious methods.
We use a special filter for Rakugo Shinju to add a slightly sepia effect. Plus, we manipulate the contrast a bit and create a sense of mood to achieve the feel of Rakugo. Here, we slightly increase the contrast of the stage to produce an effect where the bright area seems to blend in with the light area a little bit.
Very nuanced adjustments are made to highlight the character, almost too subtle to notice at first glance. The team's commitment to be as faithful as possible to the real world of Rakugo makes it possible for the world of the anime to be so immersive.
それが話し家の定めだってことはあの人だって分かってるはず。
Plans are now underway to broadcast and distribute the second season of Rakugo Shinju around the world. The production team holds great hope that this Rakugo-themed anime will spread across the globe.
It's our wish for this work to introduce Rakugo culture to the world and get the word out that such an interesting art form exists in Japan. We also hope viewers watching this Rakugo-based anime will enjoy discovering the message it aims to convey.
Oh, thank you very much.
Is that the way how they...
Well, there was a timing to everything. Once they start talking, then they take the jacket off, they have to use their fan, and so it's very traditional.
You like it?
Yeah, because it has always been that way, and it will always be that way. You know what the amazing thing is?
What?
This anime here is featured in over 35 countries.
Yes.
In like 6 different languages.
Yes. They're trying to release this over 35 countries and regions, including China, Taiwan, Europe, Holland, Africa, a lot.
Just sounds complicated.
That's a lot of work to do.
This is like spreading Japanese culture for real, like, you know, the real stuff.
The real stuff. It's not like we're trying to feature fake stuff all the time, but it's real traditional stuff, right?
Yeah, I like that. Real traditional stuff. On imagination.
On imagination. Okay, now here are the latest topics.
Here we go with some of the latest Japanese pop culture topics.
And now it's time for Japanese pop culture topics. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, we bring you the latest updates.
So, today's topic is retro games.
Oh, yes! Pac-Man!
Your favorite?
Absolutely.
Recently, we see high-end technology video games like VRs and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
As a reaction to that, the retro games have come back into the picture again. It's like getting popular again.
Look, it brings it back to the days when it was easy to play games. Just sit back and let the monsters try and chase you, and you try and chase them back. It's simple. It's 2D. It's not 3D. Everything was 3D these days.
So you don't need VR then?
I need VR.
But still, retro games are really fun to play. So.
I don't mind playing the good old stuff.
Let's check it out.
Retro games, in other words, good old popular games from the past, are making a comeback. This, for example, is Kira Kira Star Night DX, which was released in October last year. It's a brand new game available on the NES, a platform that saw its last game released 21 years ago. While the game's graphics are very retro, it features an opening animation and 3D graphics, pushing the cartridge's capacity to its limit. Also, in November, the Nintendo Classic Mini was debuted. This console is a remake of the NES from 1983 that sold over 50 million units worldwide. This console has been gaining popularity as it can easily be hooked up to your TV at home and comes pre-installed with mega-hit titles of the past. Upon being released in Japan, it quickly sold out. It seems adults who want to play their favorite childhood games are buying this console. With the rise in popularity of retro games, Super Potato Akihabara, located 5 minutes away from Akihabara Station's Electric Town exit, which specializes in retro games, is currently attracting a lot of interest. This store sells NES games that are very rare, as well as other minor consoles and their game software. Furthermore, the store has nostalgic arcade game machines that are still playable. Lured by these nostalgic games, the store is packed all week long, especially on weekends. The place is popular not only among Japanese customers, but also with tourists from overseas. Will the revival of retro games become firmly established?
So thank you very much for watching our show today.
Thank you so much.
But before we let you go, we've got some stuff from the website.
Yep.
So we've got one from Katie in the United States.
Hey, Katie.
With the new season of Pretty Cure coming out in February 2017, being titled Kira Kira Pretty Cure a la Mode. My curious question is, will you have an episode on it the week after it's out? Your question has been noted, and the producers know about it, and she's a fan. So we'll see what happens, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.